Hello and thank you for joining me again today. So I've done all my skincare and I'm going to do you a get ready with me. I'm on my way to go and see my dad, and if he's opening his eyes today and he sees me without any makeup on, he's going to think, oh my God, I must be really ill. So I'm going to put my makeup on for him. Now, this Tom Ford foundation stick, I am going to do you a review. I've actually ordered one in a lighter shade because I love it so much and I know I'm going to get plenty of use out of this, and I can always use this as a contour in the winter, and I can use a lighter shade in the winter, and then in the summer I can switch to this one, so I know I'm going to get my use out of it. I'm really loving it. It's really quick and simple, but it gives such a flawless complexion. So I'm going to put this on now, and obviously this is the darker shade, but it won't harm me to look a little bit darker than usual because I've been looking a bit pale. And then I'm just going to wait. I'm picking up the other shade today in Natural, which is a couple of shades down from this one, and then I can show you both shades and do a proper review for you. So what I tend to do is I'm using this Tarte foundation brush, which really blends it in effortlessly. I have tried a sponge as well, which you can use, but I just find that this is really good and quick and simple. And what I tend to do is, it's quite buildable. It's sort of medium to full, so you can build it up. And I tend to put on a thin layer and then dot it around areas that I need a little bit more. So around my cheek area, what I do is I put another little stripe like this. You really don't have to be that careful because this blush actually blends it quite well. And I'll put some up there and on my nose, and this is where I get all my pigmentation. And then I just press this and press and wiggle, so it kind of gives you a bit more coverage, but it's still blended in. So press and wiggle. And it's so easy to blend. It really, you don't have to work hard with this at all. Now, as I said, you can use this as a concealer, but it is a little bit dark for me to use as a concealer. What I'm going to do though, because it's got a bit of an orange tone to it, undertone to it, I should say, I am going to put on a light layer underneath because it will do a bit of colour correcting, and then I can use something over the top to brighten under my eyes. So can you see how that's just colour corrected? It's really good. It's covered that brown spot completely there, and if I just do that over my cheek peaks, it'll cover those as well. Really, really good at that. And it's one of those that even when you go close up, it looks really good. It looks a bit shiny, but you wait. I've got a perfect combo with this in terms of a powder. Right, I'm getting onto that in a minute. I just get my concealer and I'll be right back. I'm going to use the Double Wear Estée Lauder Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer, and I've got shade 3C Medium Cool, and the coolness will give me the brightening effect. So I've said this before, if you want to have a brightening effect, you don't have to go for a lighter shade, just go for a cool undertone. So I just dab some of that here where I've got these darker shades, and I'm just going to tap that in with my fingers like so, and that will give me a bit more under eye brightening. I look like I'm packing bags under my eyes for Christmas at the moment. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more just where I've got that, where the shadow falls under there. Oops, put a bit up there too. And again, just tapping away at that, right where the shadow hits in there. Estée Lauder Double Wear is really good concealer. It's one that sits in my handbag, so I've been using it a lot this week because when I'm at the hospital and I put my makeup on and then I have a little flood of tears, I can go in and to the family room and just pat that on. So if my dad opens his eyes, he's not going to see me with big panda eyes. So that is the concealer. Now moving on to the powders. Now I've tried a few powders with this, and this one is the perfect combination. Okay, if you remember with Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Foundation, I reckon the best combination is the It by Pores powder, which I have used with this foundation as well. But for this one, I actually find that Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless powder, Flawless Finish powder, is the best combination. It's better than It by Pores. Now I've got my pretty glowing skin, or whatever it was, that's been sitting in my handbag as well. So this is the Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in medium. Such a useful little compact, this, for carrying around with you when you need to touch up your makeup out and about. And I'm just going to make sure that I set my under eyes first and my eyelids, which will always crease. I'm just using one of her travel brush kits. I didn't get a brush kit this year because I wasn't as keen on it. I like the hard case. This is just lovely. So this just gives perfect finish to that foundation, which is a little bit glowier and got more moisture in it. So this kind of mattifies it. I think with her Airbrush Flawless Foundation, because it's quite matte, when you put this over the top, it makes it too matte, which is why I think the It by Pores works better, because it's got more moisturiser ingredients in it. But this, because this one, the foundation has got more moisture in it, this one is the perfect combo because it actually dries it down a bit more. It doesn't need more moisture, it needs to be set and mattified. So I just find that this works better. I'm just really getting rid of all that because I've put a lot of moisture on this morning to get some moisture into my skin. And so I'm just wanted to make sure that I've really set it well so it doesn't start to slide. And that's a good thing about Charlotte's powder. You could sit there doing this all day and it's not going to look dry and powdery. It's just going to look flawless. It's very difficult. I've never been able to do it, to make it look powdery and just get that hair. There we go. Okay, so now having used high-end Charlotte Tilbury and Tom Ford, I'm now going to switch it up and use my Lacura eyeshadow palette. Okay, first on in, I'm going to use this shade here just to prime my eyelids and just make them a uniform shade before I start. Just a quick dusting. Really even coverage. Just a beautiful eyeshadow kit. Still can't get over the fact that it's £3.99. Right. And then I'm going to use this shade here at the end called Latte. And I'm going to use this as a transition shade because it's perfect for that. So effortless to blend this palette. I'd really challenge, I'd love to put this in a, you know, one of these really renowned makeup artists like Pixie Woo's hands and not give them the label and ask them to guess who made it, because I'd very much doubt that anyone would say, ah, that is an Aldi eyeshadow quad. I'm sure that people would think it was high-end if they didn't see the label. Right, and I'm just going to take some of that with my smudge brush and just take it underneath. Okay, and then with that smudge brush, actually, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the blending brush and I'm going to take this rose shade. It is absolutely stunning. And I'm going to put that over the lid except for the inner corner and take it up into the socket. I just love this shade. Can you tell? I can't stop going on about it. It's just so pretty. And it just, if you've got brown eyes, this pink just really brings out the brown in your eyes. Can you see where I haven't applied it as much on that eye? And I have there, it just makes the eyes pop. And it's matte. So I'm just putting it on to the mobile lid and up into the socket, but just avoiding the inner corner a little bit. And again, I'll just take some of that down and put it below what I've done there. Just mix it in a little bit and put it below that other brown. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Such a good daytime palette. And now I'm going to take this, actually last time I used Auburn. Shall I use Auburn? Yeah, I will do because it's warmer. I'm going to take this Auburn shade and I'm just going to, with the smudge brush, place it in the inner corner, the outer corner I mean, beg your pardon, and just in my little triangle. Just placing it and then I'll blend. Relax my eyes. That looks reasonably even. So I'll go in with my blending brush and then start to blend it out. It really, again, does not take a lot of blending. That's why it reminds me so much of the Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palettes, because you really don't have to work hard to blend these at all. As you can hear, Jack's playing a game upstairs. And then I'm just going to take this shade Halo, the one that I used first of all as a highlighter. It's a matte highlighter, so it's not going to, you might want to use your highlighter if you want a sparkly sort of highlighter, but I think this is fine for the day. And then I'm just going to take my finger and using this shade Prosecco here, I'm just going to dab that on my mobile lid over the top of that pink. And it immediately, sorry, some of it's gone onto my lashes, but that's fine because I haven't done my mascara yet. Just looks so pretty. And if you want, you can just dot a little bit in that inner corner. And you could, if you wanted to, just to give the eyes a lift. I think I will actually. Just put a little bit up under the brow bone. Have a bit of a shimmer, why not? Just a little bit blended in. It's a little bit too shimmery for under the brow, but if you just put a little bit there, a little smidge, then you'll be fine. Then what I did yesterday is I took this brush, which is not brilliant, but hey, £3.99. It's very good, got flat end for doing a line. So then what I did is I took the Auburn shade, or you could take Latte if you wanted, or this one called Penny. Let me take Penny actually, because I haven't used that one. And I'm going to take that, and I used the flat end to do a line. I'm really into using shadows as liners at the moment because they look so flattering on more mature eyes. And I did go through a stage where I thought that pencil liners were making my eyes water, and these tend not to do that if I put a shadow on instead. And also the advantage of this is you can get right up into that lash line. At the moment you probably can't see I've got a line there, but when I open my eyes you can see it's defined. I just take it underneath. What goes above must go down, otherwise it looks... I've seen looks where they don't do that, but to me it just looks a bit weird. Okay, so that is that eyeshadow, and then I'm going to use what would look nice with this actually is Charlotte's Eye Cheat, which I might try and put on at the end. I've lost, I'm sure there were two brushes in there, maybe there wasn't, just a two-sided brush. So that is the eyeshadow palette, and I'm now going to put on one of the mascaras that I got. And I think I need to get the thickening one because it needs to have quite a strong mascara, I think. So I just need to work out which is the thickening one, and I'll be right back. The thickening one is called Larger Than Life. Now, please excuse me today because I'm bombing it to the hospital. There is not going to be much, if any, editing of this. So you're going to just hear me yapping on, and I'm not fast forwarding through everything. It's going to make the video a bit longer, but if you get bored, just forward through. As I say, I don't really have time to do much editing today. I just wanted to get this video out to you. So apologies for that. And also I'd just like to have a chat to you all. Because even when I'm doing a non-live video, I feel like you're all there listening. And it's just nice to chat to you all. So this is the Larger Than Life. And as you can see, it doesn't clump at all. And you've got this thing at the end that you can go in and get individual lashes right at the end. Those ones that are difficult to reach. But you will have to build it up. I think this actually, it does feel quite fluid. It must have been the other one that was a bit dry, or maybe just the start of it, because it does actually feel quite wet now. So maybe that was just because I just started using it. See, it's quite good, isn't it? Just do my lower lashes. I don't think anything will ever replace my MAC upward lash. I still mourn for it. Just put on another coat. It does need 2 or 3 coats of this, but it does look good. No denying it. And eye-opening. See, this bit at the end is where it's got the the little thing for getting into those lashes. Goldfish face. Okay, so that's the eyes done. I think I'm going to put a bit of Daniel Sandler's Berry on my cheeks. I'll use a bit of Charlotte's bronzer from this Pretty Glowing Skin. I'll get Daniel Sandler's Berry and I'll be right back. Okay, a bit of berry. I know it's better to apply this under powder, but I can get away with it. I think provided you've let the powder sink in for a while you do your eyes, it's fine. Yeah, that works well. And then just dab the remnants there and there. And then I'm going to use this liquid illuminator from Aldi, and I'll just get that and be right back. Okay, now just be careful with this because you really don't need a lot, and there will be a lot on there. So I just tend to dip it on my hands so that I can then dip my finger in and just dot it like that, because otherwise you can end up looking a bit like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. You can see it gives a lovely natural glow. And I'll put a bit here. You can put a bit on the top of the brow. This is actually work a little bit better than what I've used. And a bit up there. That was a tiny amount on my hand. A little bit up there, just in the centre of my forehead. Top of my lips. I do need a little bit more because I'm going to pop some in the inner corner of my eye. Just layer over what I've already done. Yeah, that works. Okay, and now onto the lips. And I deliberately put this jumper on so I could put on the lightest shade of my Lisa Eldridge lipsticks. Okay, so I'm going to line my lips. I will do my brows and line my lips, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've lined my lips and I've deliberately not filled them in so that you can see what Velvet Morning looks like. So a few of you asked for this on my live last week. So I thought, let's do this one today. Oh yes, I like that a lot. So that is my look for today, and I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will try and catch you all tomorrow. I'm not going to be going as early to my dad tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be able to do a live. So if you're around, I'll probably do a live at about, I'll give you the exact time tomorrow, but I'm going to have a bit of a lie-in and probably do it about 10:30, 11 o'clock. But I will put a post on the community about half an hour before I go live. So I hope you can join me then. And if you can't join me, don't worry, catch up later on if you can. And I really appreciate all your love and support. Take care. Have a lovely day. Love you all. Mwah!